One of the things I think that people are actually finding now is that that flexibility, the ability to be able to work from home, work flexible hours. I know recently in our organisation we ran a couple of ads. One was for a full-time position, which was more around account management, and one was for a part-time position, which was more about 2 or 3 days a week. We had something like 90 applications for the part-time position and 15 or 20 for the full-time position. So are you finding that employers now to be a little bit more flexible with the workplace?
Yeah, it depends on the role. So some roles in your business, it can work. So say if you had a receptionist, obviously working from home is not really an option. But if they did data entry or admin, it can work quite effectively. So we actually have one person in our office that actually works from home full time. So it's making sure you have the systems and processes in place. So we have a system that's in the cloud. She can access every document, every piece of equipment we have. And it's also having the work health and safety. And that's the key. A lot of people just think you can have someone work from home. It's actually making sure you do a risk assessment of their home. Homes are now deemed as the workplace. So you need to make sure you have policies and processes and risk assessments done at the home as well. That's what a lot of people do forget.
Okay. Mark, how are you finding it? We talked about millennials before, so obviously, millennials are like that kind of flexibility in the workplace. How do you manage people? I mean, are you having employees that are kind of working from home? And if so, how are you managing them when they're not actually physically sitting at a desk where you can keep an eye on them?
Yeah, well, that's right. And that's a lot of the fears that employers have in this era of teleworking. How can I get the best from them? How can I manage the productivity? We've done a lot of research on this and looked at what's the right balance, what's the right mix for teleworking, and the maximum level is about 20% of an employee's time teleworking. About a day a week is at the upper end. Anything more than that, and you start to lose the workplace culture, you start to lose the values alignment. And we found that Generation Y, that those in their 20s starting their work, were the least likely to want to work most of their time from home. They actually want a workplace where there's the collegiality, the social interaction. So let's not think that it's all about giving people total freedom to work from wherever, because what's a timeless need for us as humans is to gather and to interact, and to that if you've got 20, 30, 40% of the workforce away at any one time because they're working from home, it does start to diminish that culture. So it is about getting the mix right and not having too much teleworking, but enough so that people have that flexibility. And we found that it is a key tool of retention. If people have work-life balance, it's one of the top 5 demands that Generation Y now have for a job.